The mist hangs heavy over the town, swallowing the streets in an unsettling silence. Locals move like shadows, their whispers drifting through the fog. Stories of Alexander McTavish, the distiller who defied death and whose spirit lingers still. The old distillery stands at the edge of town, cloaked in gloom, its windows like eyes watching. They say his craft was more than whiskey, it captured souls. And on nights like this, when the fog rolls in, you can still hear him. Bottles clinking, barrels creaking, and a voice calling you inside. Some say they've seen his figure near the cellar doors. Others speak of glowing casks, pulsing like a heartbeat. Those who enter alone sometimes don't return the same. And for the brave who take a sip, they say the taste is unforgettable, like drinking from the afterlife itself. A faint laugh echoes through the mist, chilling the bone, and the ground beneath your feet feels not quite still. The gates creak open, rusted by time and silence. Investigators step onto the overgrown grounds, their breath visible in the cold air. The estate looms, broken, forgotten, but not empty. Crumbling walls whisper secrets of lives lost. Windows, shattered, seem to watch as they move forward. Their equipment hums. MF meters spike, recorders hiss with faint voices. Every step stirs the dust of the past, as if waking something. A chill thicker than the night wraps around them. Crossing the threshold, the air tightens, oppressive, heavy. A knock echoes from within the walls. A shadow shifts in the corner of their vision. Something is here, watching, waiting, welcoming, or warning. And somewhere, deep within, a faint breath, just behind them. The investigators gather in a dimly lit tavern, the warm glow of lanterns failing to chase away the chill that lingers in the air. Locals sit hunched over their drinks, their eyes wary, their voices low, as if afraid to speak too loudly. At first, there's hesitation, nervous glances exchanged. But as the whiskey flows, so do the stories. A woman recalls hearing footsteps outside her cottage on foggy nights, when no one should be there. A man tells of bottles shattering on their own at McTavish's ruins, followed by faint, guttural whispers. Another swears he saw a figure, tall, cloaked in shadow, watching from the tree line near the distillery. Some speak of chills brushing their skin, as if unseen hands reached from beyond. Others claim their names were whispered in the wind. The investigators listen, their skepticism fading. Doubt gives way to unease, and for the first time they wonder, have they stirred something they cannot control? Dust dances in the pale beam of a flashlight as the investigators climb into the attic. The air is thick, stale. Each breath carries the weight of decades. Wood creaks beneath their steps. The walls whisper with the wind. Then, a discovery. Buried beneath old crates and tattered cloth, they find it. A leather-bound journal, cracked with age, bearing the initials A.M. McTavish. Hands tremble as they open it. Faded ink bleeds into brittle pages. Accounts of his craft, his devotion to whiskey, and something more. He wrote of voices speaking through the barrels, of shadows moving beside the stills when no one was there. Entries turn frantic, describing nights when his workers vanished, when the walls of his distillery seemed to breathe. The final pages, smeared desperate, speak of the fire, of a pact sealed in smoke and blood. The investigators glance at each other, hearts pounding. This was no mere accident. McTavish's spirit was not trapped. He chose to stay. And now, as they hold, the air grows heavier as the investigators descend into the heart of the distillery. Shadows ripple across the walls, their movements unnatural, defying the dim glow of their lanterns. The temperature plummets, breath fogs with each exhale. But it's not just the cold. They feel it now, a presence. Devices crackle with static, lights flicker, then fail. The room plunges into darkness. A low hum rises, like a distant chant in Gaelic, growing louder. Footsteps echo, though no one moves. A bottle crashes to the floor. Then a voice, rasping, guttural. "McTavish, you shouldn't be here." A shape emerges from the shadows, tall, indistinct, eyes glinting like embers. The investigators freeze, hearts pounding. The air tightens around their chests. A hand brushes a shoulder, ice cold. Yet nothing is there. Panic surges. The walls seem to close in. Then, silence. The figure fades, but the warning remains. They flee into the night, but when they review the footage, one frame stands out. A shadow standing at the edge of the forest, watching, waiting. Next, this video was sponsored by the sci-fi book The Gitnegus Guardians, available now on Amazon.